Dear English language teachers, good morning and welcome to one of my most exciting webinars, which is going to explore all the opportunities offered by interactive books. I'm sure you have heard about interactive books before, but today we're going to explore several examples of interactive books, and hopefully you will be intrigued to use this wonderful tool in your teaching experience. So let's start with understanding the concept of interactive book. So when we hear interactive, it doesn't necessarily refer to anything that is online or anything that is in electronic format. For example, we can talk about interactive books when we refer to all kinds of books that engage the student or the reader in many other different ways in addition to the traditional reading experience. For example, if you have little children at home, I'm sure you have seen and your children have used interactive books. So any book that requires the child to open only one part of the book or draw something or touch something or play a game using that book is by definition an interactive book. For example, I'm sure you know what a pop-out book is. So these are the types of books that when you open them, you can explore many different activities in addition to reading words, sentences, paragraphs, or stories. For example, your students can describe a pop-out image that comes out of the book, or they can use the pop-out to imagine a play. Some books include small characters that also pop out so the students can describe the characters, and of course when you open the book and they stand up like this, then of course it looks like a real story or like a real cartoon, not just a simple book that they can read. Another example of interactive books are game books. So if you see books that have some kind of crossword or some kind of search related activities in within the book or at the end of the book or in between chapters, then that by definition is also an interactive book. I have recently visited the Cambridge Center, and they have a lot of wheels, just like the ones you see in the picture, where you can match, for example, infinitives and past participles, or first, second, and third conditionals, and so on and so forth. So when you have this type of materials, there is a wheel, and when you turn the wheel, you can find the right activity for you, or the right verb for you, or the right noun, adjective, and so on and so forth. So whenever you have this type of books that have a wheel that you as a reader need to turn around in order to find the specific vocabulary, then that is also an example of interactive book. Of course, one of my favorite are flip books. So flip books require students to open small parts of the book. Again, these are children's books. So the students can read and then they open and then there is a secret that they have to find out about, or there is a hidden word, or there is a hidden image. Sometimes they have to read a riddle, and in order to solve the riddle, they have to move some parts of the books. So the flip books, again, are wonderful examples of interactive books. Okay. And last but not least, of course, we have the touch and feel books. Again, if you have little children at home, there are books that have parts that are soft and your students have to touch, and they usually describe animals, usually domestic animals. So this is what the chicken feels like, and this is what a bunny feels like. So your students have to actually touch specific parts of the book, and this is again a method to make the reading process more exciting for the students, more real life probably. I also like the books like this one where there are like pockets, and the students can, the readers, the children, they can, put a lot of personal items in. This can be small toys, or this can be objects, or this can be pieces of fabric, for example, ribbons and whatnot, small dolls, small cars. So anything that engages the students beyond the traditional reading experience is actually an interactive book. Okay, so now it's time to talk about interactive e-books. So by definition, an electronic or digital book designed to include active reader participation via links or embedded reader enhanced functions is an interactive ebook. All right, so we have the traditional reading experience, and then we have to enhance the reader's experience using different electronic tools. For example, I have recently discovered tool that was created by Livresc. Livresc is a platform created in Romania, and they create a lot of interactive textbooks for Romanian Ministry of Education. We're trying to experiment with our own resources. For example, in this image, you can see a video created as part of our Educație Online library. So what we did is we embedded the video lesson in that platform, and then after the platform, the platform actually organizes a lot of interactive activities for us, and we can also create our own exercises. So the interactive, let's say, chapter looks like this. So we have the video, right? And then we have all these pieces that move around, which is, looks really cool. And then we have the structure of the lesson, and then we have to start the reading experience. And as you can see, those interactive parts, they come together. So usually the students will watch the lesson, and then under the lesson, we have the PDF support, so the students can download and actually listen and then follow the text from the slides, which is pretty convenient. If you're an educator, of course, you can use that. And then we have images with descriptions. For example, this is the key image, so students have to read and understand what the major message of the lesson is. And once they click on all the images, they can move on to the next page, all right? And then we have activities. So this is an activity based on flashcards. So your students have to, learn all these words, and then they play with the flashcards, and then there is a definition, and then they have to flip the cards to see the image that corresponds to the definition, and so on and so forth. All right, when they're done with this activity, they can go to the next activity. So we have a quiz right here, okay? And then they take the quiz, and then there is another reflection, there is an interactive activity. And as you can see, this is learning apps. I'm sure you have used learning apps in the past. And then at the end, there is usually a test. Okay, we're going to do it randomly. Okay, it's going to be like this. So these are the key words from that lesson, and then you have to arrange them. And then last, you click on finish, and they say, congratulations, right? You completed all the interactive activities that were included in this lesson. So this is an example of interactive chapter. And of course, if you put many of these chapters together, then you will have a full interactive ebook. Another example, I just wanted you to see, this is an ebook, electronic book, created also using this platform for Ministry of Education in Romania. Now, this is more of a traditional book because it has all the sections of a book, all right? So this is the description, all right? And this is the text from the book, and then the definition, and then you move on to the next page. Again, we have the text, and then you have interactive activities. For example, this is an incorporated video, so the students have to watch the video. Uh-huh. So they will watch the video that was incorporated directly into the book, especially into one particular paragraph, or to support a particular idea, or to describe a particular concept. So the students will watch, and then they will have to move on to the next activity, right? And then they will collaborate, and then there are a lot of activities they have to complete. Okay, all right. Now they have another interactive activity, so they click on that, and then they have to again click, and there is some kind of interactive. Okay, so I got one word for example, and so on and so forth. There you go. All right. So you will have to do the crossword. The crossword is in electronic format. Another word, there you go, and so on and so forth. Okay, and when the student is done, the student can move on to the next activity. You answer, so the student can go back and read the previous page, and only after that complete the interactive activity. Let's move on to the next page. So as you can see, an electronic book has separate pages, and every page enhances the text with other materials, whether it's a video, or it's a game, or is a quiz, or we can have an audio, we can have the definition of a specific concept explained, and so on and so forth, right? And there are, as you can see, there are images, there is text, okay, and there are independent assignments that the students have to work on. So as you can see, all these models put together, they have, as a result, and another crossword, and then another interactive exercise, and there has to be something that is happening. And then, of course, every chapter is explained in detail. So this is a wonderful example. Of course, feel free to, explore online tools that help us create this interactive books. All right, good. Now let's move on to books that are done in English. So Rosen Digital is a publishing house that has a lot of interactive books on their website. I wanted to show you a different example of an interactive book, just like the one created by our colleagues from Romania. So for example, this one, we have the traditional book, which is a book about cars, Mercedes. So what it does, it narrates the entire book. So as you can see at the bottom, we have all the options. So when you click on play, they will narrate the book for you. Okay, there's going to be audio, and then the book will flip, which is pretty cool. What I like about this book is that every time it narrates a word or a text, the text is being highlighted so the students can practice their reading and spelling at the same time. Let's move on to the next page. So we have the traditional book, but let's see what the additional elements are that make this book an interactive one. So first we have the video. So the students will click on the video and they will watch the video, and then they will continue with the reading and the listening experience. So the video looks like that. So this is a video that shows the interior of a Mercedes from the E-Class line. And of course, boys are going to be excited about this one. Okay, all right. So this is a tour of the inside of the car. Okay, so after students watch the interior, this tour, okay, they can go back to the reading, all right? And then in addition to the video, there is also an audio file. So students will click on the audio file. Okay, and then the students will move on to the next page, all right? And again, we have the video, and then we have audio, and we have pictures. So when you click on the picture, you have the biography of the Daimler, the founder of the company that produced Mercedes-Benz cars later. Okay, so as you can see, this book is very simple, but it incorporates audio, video, and text, and it narrates every slide or every page for the reader, which is an excellent tool for us English language educators and teachers of English as a foreign language. Okay, so this is what it looks like. All right, okay. Now, this is the traditional, let's say, reading experience. Okay, all right. Enhanced with other elements. Okay, excellent tool. Give it a try. So this is Rosen Digital Book. Now, the next tool that I would like to share with you is Moza Web. I have, again, recently discovered this tool. This is a pretty interesting platform. It offers a lot of materials in many languages: English, Russian, Chinese, Romanian, French, Italian, German, and so on and so forth. So they have a lot of 3D materials, videos, audios, and media library. This is what an interactive lesson looks like. So when you have many of these lessons then together, put all together, they will form this interactive book. For example, the name of this lesson is Who Was Isaac Newton? So we have the major questions that will be covered by this lesson. Okay, the lesson aims to answer these questions. Where did Newton live? And then we have the picture and then the description. Okay, and then we have the picture of the university he studied in. And after that, we have an interactive exercise which was built directly into the page of this particular lesson plan. For example, Lord Byron was a poet. I'm just going to do it randomly. Prime Minister of India, this one, I think, discovered a nucleus. I don't know this one. This is wrong. Okay, all right. Okay, and there you go. Okay, so then your students can discover that. You can do that together. If you have a smart board in your classroom, then that's wonderful. If you teach via Zoom or Google Meet, then again, your students can complete this interactive exercise together. Yeah, you did a good job. And then when you move on to the next piece of information, there is a video, and the book says, watch the video about Newton's life, then answer the question. So your students will click on the video, they will watch the video, and then discuss it. All right, let's play just a bit, a part of the video. So this is a beautiful video that explains the biography of Newton, starting with his, early years, his family life, the school he went to, and then, it explains how Newton turned into a worldwide known scientist and physician. All right, so let's move on. We have the video, and then we have the post video questions. So your students, after watching the video, will read and answer these questions. Is it true that Newton was always good at school? Is it true that Newton was interested in mechanics only? All right. And then the book also gives you the answer. So when we click on the answer, you have all of those are false. So your students can go back to the video and check why these four sentences were false. Okay. And then we click and you hide the answers. All right. Then we move on to the next section. How did Newton explain the motion of planets? And then we have the 3D material. Let's click on the 3D. I want you to understand what the difference between a video and a 3D material is. And it usually takes a few minutes to download, all right? Again, this interactive 3D tour was built in the book, so you do not need to open other tabs or other websites or other browser pages, okay? So this is a 3D thing, which is also incorporates audio, excellent for us as English language teachers. It also has interactive activities, and your students can go back and forth, and they can actually have a digital tour of what is happening in the video. There are a lot of videos based on buildings, so you can see what the White House looks from inside, or the Taj Mahal building, or you can go into Da Vinci Studio. So this is what the interactive activity is like. I'm going to guide you through. So as you can see, we have a lot of characters, famous scientists, right? So each of them is described separately and their contribution, okay? So we have Copernicus, we have Kepler. So as you can see, it's everything moves. Speaking of developing student speaking, for example, you can click and your students have to describe what they see, what is happening in the picture. And then we have Albert Einstein, all right, gravity. And then we can have the animation. We can watch the animation, beautiful English, by the way, and it explains what all these scientists contributed to. As you can see, everything is in motion. And what I really like is the fact that you also have the text in addition to the audio and the movements and the video. So the 3D experience puts all of that together, text, audio, video, and then you can play with the controls, which means you can stop, you can pause, your students can watch just like 30 seconds and discuss it, and then you can ask questions. So this is how the learning experience gets really interactive, okay? So it moves like this. After your students read and watch and listen to the animation, you can do the quiz. They can take the quiz together. All right. So pay attention what the person, the animation or the avatar in the picture does. So an object presses against the ground with the force of this. What force was? I'm going to do it randomly. It's not right. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Didn't get it right. No. We have 5 questions. All right. So I really like this movement. So if you get it right, then the scientist will not. Okay. What is a theory? Is an unproven hypothesis. No, it's a proven hypothesis. All right. And the last one. Okay, no, I didn't get it. All right. So your students will definitely enjoy the interactive, the 3D section, and then you move on to other interactive exercises. So again, the same thing. So the students will have to, complete this interactive exercise together with the teacher. All right. Okay, it's probably like this. All right, good. There you go. Oh, okay, we did it right this time. All right, and so on and so forth. So, what is really an apple? Was it really an apple that helped Newton understand gravity? Okay, so I'm not going to give you the answer. I will let you discover that. So, this is another example of an interactive book. As you can see, it includes all the elements of a traditional book, which is just text with pictures explaining the concept or the biography of Isaac Newton. In addition to that, we have videos, we have audio, we have interactive exercises like the ones with drag and drop. We also have the 3D interactive activity that was incorporated into this book or this lesson plan. And then inside the 3D activity, there is also the quiz, there is the animation, there is the virtual tour that also includes text. So you can play with it and you can use it at the beginning of the lesson, in the middle of the lesson when you explain the new topic, or at the end of the lesson. Okay, so I hope you really liked this tool, right? Okay, so this is the third interactive tool that we discovered. And now the good news is if you have a book in PDF format, or if you have a PowerPoint, you can also create your own digital book. There are a lot of platforms that can help you turn a traditional text, which is in PDF or PowerPoint format, into a simple electronic book. All right. For example, this is VSmith. I played with it yesterday and I really liked it. So this is what their dashboard looks like. Okay, you can create a free account and then you can create your own book. So what you will do is you will click on create and you can import a document from your computer. It can be a PDF file or it can be a PowerPoint. Okay, all right. So we're going to work with documents. There you go. Okay, or you can create one, all right, from zero, or you can create the one that is given to you. I'm going to upload a document that I have on my computer. Okay, all right. All right. So you have my account. You will have to create your own account, okay? And there are going to be free options and there are going to be paid options. So of course I have a free account, okay? All right. And then, okay, all right, let me see if I can upload a document. Okay, browse file. Upload. I can upload a presentation from my computer. Okay, let me see if I can find. There you go. I have. There you go. So the website incorporates my PowerPoint or my PDF. You can upload your textbook, your, school textbook. Okay. All right. Let's give it a second. There you go. So my PowerPoint is here. I click on edit. And then what I can do is, in a very simple way, I can add all these elements that are interactive to my traditional PDF or PowerPoint book. I can add a video, I can add audio, or I can add an interactive exercise that was created, for example, using learning apps. So this is the first slide, okay? And what I can do is, for example, I want to add a video, all right? So I click on media, insert a video, and I can choose a place on the first slide. And then I can go to YouTube and I can choose any video that I want to be incorporated into my book. Let's choose a random video that we can find. There you go. Okay, so for example, I like this video. All right, I copy paste the link. Right, done. There you go. So the video is here, and then I can drag and drop the video. I can put it here, I can put it here. So let's leave it here. And then we have the image, the text, and the video. Okay, all right. Then you can also add an audio and you can narrate. So you can record your voice and you can explain what is written on the slides, or you can choose a song, for example. And you can put the song here. All right. And then you can add graphics. Okay. All right. You can add a lot of interesting things. Okay, let me see. And this is the slide. And as you can see, you can have the second slide. So you click on the slide and you add other materials. And then there's third slide and so on and so forth. So you operate with all the options that you have on your left side. Okay, all right. And then you can take every slide one by one and then add pictures, text, shapes, graphics, media, which is YouTube videos, and then you can narrate. You can add your voice to this material, and then at the end, you will do what? You will save that project. Okay, so we're going to have a short preview of what we just created. There you go. Okay, so you can play it, and there is going to be a voice, or there is going to be the video, okay, that we incorporated, and you can hear the music. This is the book, and then when I click here, here is the video, and as you can see, the video is incorporated on the book, which is pretty exciting. Okay, all right. So let's revise what we did today. So first of all, I wanted you to understand the concept of interactive. So traditional books can be interactive if they ask the readers to do something in addition to reading. They can flip pages, they can put things, toys into their pockets, they can feel, right? They can do a crossword puzzle directly on the book. They can, if there is a wheel, they can search for the past participle of a verb. So if there is a book and the book asks the reader to have fun while reading and learning, then that is also an interactive book. We talked about flip books and 3D books, and then the wheel, and many other forms, pop-out books, of course, many other forms of books that are fun and colorful and creative. Now, if we take a traditional book that is in written format, and if we add video, if we add 3D experiences, if we narrate it using audio, then that becomes an interactive ebook. And of course, the benefits of interactive books are clear. So first of all, readers stay hooked with the ebook because it's interactive, because there's a video, audio, then they have to drag and drop, then there is a crossword. So it's really exciting to work with that ebook. They are easier to revise and upgrade for creators and publishers. So you can, if there is a new video, you can add it to an old book. So for example, you have a book that you really like and you think it's good, but you want to add fresh materials like fresh audio or video or YouTube videos, and you add them to the old book, and that's how you upgrade it and you make it interesting. Readers retain more, of course, because they don't simply read, they also listen, they watch, they interact, they move their hands. Of course, this is important. Okay, all right. They offer better accessibility, so you don't need to buy the book, you don't need to print the book, you just need to access the ebooks that are available online. There are a lot of free ebooks. Okay, all right. And then multiple applications, so again, your students can develop several skills. All right, and you can also create a book together with your colleagues, and you can have a group project or a team project. For example, several teachers from your school use one textbook, and different teachers have different interactive activities that can be placed into that book and make it even better. You can enhance, as we say, that book and create an interactive ebook that is up to date, that is interesting, and that puts together all the resources that your colleagues or the entire team put together. All right. So I hope you liked today's webinar. I hope you will explore all the resources that I have just shared with you. I will insert the links into your form, the form that you have to complete at the end of the webinar. Dear teachers, have a wonderful summer. Keep exploring the potential of web online tools so that when the new academic year starts, you are fully equipped with the most recent and most creative and engaging instruments that can turn you into a well-equipped, modern, creative educator. All the best. Have a wonderful summer.